Is that everybody's brackets after the first round?
Boy, look, for real, that was not me, but it was me. Like, no, I don't know why I put it up. I wanted to put something else up because I am mad that every time I put up Psycho Sid in some type of capacity, WWE gotta
They need their
gotta hit us.
pennies.
They need a pennies from us, and I'm mad at that. But you know what? Whatever, man. Anyway,
Welcome to another
sports cell.
Yeah, so I guess let's start off something different. I feel sometimes we tend to put them on the back burner a little bit and stuff, but the WNBA draft happened last night, and I have the list of the players that these teams got. First round pick went to Dallas Wings, and they got Paige Bookers from UConn, point guard, and as you know,
I knew
UConn.
they would.
UConn won the championship, so of course they were going to get the number one pick.
Well, number one, Paige Beckers.
Beckers.
Been there.
I don't know why
like,
I say
the thing that, like this.
What is with the U in the name? Sorry, I'm nitpicking the name. It's just the U is like Beckers. Like
Beckers is a Buckers. I know, we call her buckets anyway.
I would say Bueckers. I
call her buckets, because she's been she's one of those girls that actually decided all 4 years. Good for her.
I feel in the WNBA. I think we talked about it as much. Like the WNBA, I guess women's college basketball is structured in such a way to where there is a storyline attached to the women in some way, shape, or form, to where it carries over into the WNBA, which is kind of the driving force of why people watch the WNBA because of the stories and stuff. So that works for Paige easily.
I mean, and she been like her, it actually benefits her because she falls into a fraternity that we I think, especially Black people, we need to admit. White girl point guard. We need to admit that is a thing. Much like white girl center. Shout out to Della Don. She got her 2 championships, got her 2 MVPs, got a championship for DC, and she called it a career. Another UConn person. So yeah, good for her. Man.
So
good for her. Della Don, man. I liked her, man. I really did like her, man.
So Dallas
bully ass white girl. I like that.
So besides Dallas Wings having a new GM, a new coach and such, they got Paige, they got Zaya James from NC State, Madison Scott from Ole Miss, JJ Quinley from West Virginia, and Aaronette Vonleh from Baylor.
I am interested.
Aaronette being the center from Baylor.
I'm just looking at this, and I'm just looking at this right now as a draft as a whole, and first off, Kiki from Southern Cal. She going to going to the Mystics, number one. And
we got Sonia Citron from Notre Dame though.
Yeah. I didn't like her like that.
I kind of like.
I'm gonna let her rock. She in the city now, nigga. I'm gonna let her rock.
No, wait. What little I've seen of her and stuff, she was averaging. I think she was averaging, I believe, with Notre Dame like 15 a game essentially throughout her whole time. So I'm like, that's actually pretty consistent.
Now the son got who I thought the Mystics was going to get.
Adisa?
Mera. Yeah, Adisa Mera. I thought they was going to get her, but they went ahead and got her to the Sun.
Why does Anissa look like SZA?
Hold on.
I'm looking at a picture of her holding up the connect.
Shut up. She does not look like. Shut up. She doesn't look like. She don't. It's the hair. Speaking of
probably the hair. It's probably
short rant. I am all for these girls looking prettier when they play ball. I'm all for it. I'm all for the makeup and all the rest of that. The nails.
Throws me off in a good way.
No, hold on. The nails. If you can play, ain't no girl gonna play in nails, but you know what I mean.
Not long, but,
not long enough. I don't think no girl in her right mind gonna play with any extensions on her face.
No, it's long, but it's not enough to where they gotta still grab the ball and shoot.
But here's the thing. I don't like millennial. I don't like Gen Z auntie look.
What?
Oh,
The Gen Z auntie look. You mean Gen Z Mary J. Blige look?
no, Gen Z auntie. That's how all of them gonna look like.
What's the
All those
what's the
girls
look? What's
born
the
in
difference
the
between that?
2000s.
What's the difference between
You know
that
how
and Mary
Scissor's hair
J?
look? You know how Scissor's hair look like? How
Yeah.
the whole look that Scissor
Yeah.
got, the
Yeah.
overgloss look. That's Gen Z aunties.
I thought that was more
That's gonna be
millennial.
them.
See, I thought that was millennial bleeding into Gen Z.
I think it is. I think it is a little bit.
Okay.
I think it is
okay,
a little
okay,
bit.
okay.
But at the same time, but because of course the the younger is going to take.
Who from our generation is in the WNBA that we would know that would be the good go-to to be like, what's the look?
What, of our generation of girls?
Yeah, millennials, like millennial women. That's why, because that's the only way I can really get the sort of like correlation of like, all right, I see what D means.
Okay, I'm laughing for two reasons. I'm gonna keep it very real. Millennials in the WNBA, very lesbian, very stud.
This is true. I feel that's a byproduct.
That's
98.
fair.
Put it this way, 98 to 2002 was my high school years, and there was a measure of closeted lesbians and some that were actually
in that
lesbians. So yeah,
and I'm going to say our generation, which is when
that
LeBron
love and
came in?
basketball era.
No, there's a little bit before. Shut up. That does fall into
So that's
this
Gen
is
X.
the love.
That's also
Okay,
Gen X.
so this is okay. So much like the NBA at the time, dealing with the millennials that were coming in, which would be LeBron on down. LeBron,
Yeah, me and you are 1 or 2
LeBron,
years older than LeBron, right? I'm like
no,
1 year old.
Me and LeBron the same age. Actually I'm a year older than LeBron. You're older than LeBron by months. I'm a year older than him.
So he's elder millennial, basically, in our
category. He's an elder millennial. Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. So from him, and I'll say the cutoff point, and I'm being generous if I'm being the cutoff point, I think would be Devin Booker. Everybody after Devin would be,
because Devin would be my brother. My brother was born in 92, so it's
everybody
like that
after
cutoff.
Devin Booker to me is like, no, that's Gen Z's. Those are Gen Z ballers at this point.
Yeah.
Good example of a Gen Z baller would be actually Anthony Edwards would be the best example of that.
Yeah.
But much like men, it was a rough generation of balling. Like I will give millennials that we took fouling and then we started traveling. So look like
then the Euro step.
I gotta be real. Everybody hates traveling. Blame millennials because we stretched out traveling and we brought in the Euro step. So now people don't know what going forward is, going through. No one know what it is at this point.
We don't know.
Millennials, that's our bad. We ruined traveling, all right? The other thing is now hand checking was different. So the women didn't have to hand check like that. So basically what we got was a bunch of girls that looked like studs. And even though a lot of them weren't studs, i.e. Candace Parker, she had her ponytail looking like a stud. But give her 3 hours and you're gonna be in front of the camera. Oh, I'm gonna get this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but because they took it differently, a lot of those girls, they didn't want to be pretty just for the sake of being pretty. I'm out here to ball. I'm not out here to get your
ball is life.
Like, yeah,
that's why I say love and basketball, because Salah Lathan's character was pretty much in that same category of like, I'm just here to play ball. I ain't here to look pretty.
I ain't out here to look eye catching or nothing. Getting check ball, nigga. Let's go.
But that's I mean, going back to that movie real quick though, when we talked about it, that's what made that scene when they were in Spain with her homegirl, and she was like, "Look, we here, the men love us. I'm gonna take advantage of this shit because hey, it is what it is and stuff." But it was, that movie really kind of emphasized that millennial Gen X sort of like way of like ball is life. I don't give a fuck. Not necessarily you don't care about looking pretty, but it's not top priority.
There's a reason why I will say this, and that's why our generation, when it comes to basketball, at least when us millennials, our main thing is like, yo, what is the defensive presence at, nigga? So you mean to tell like I get you can't hand check nobody. We understand that. They eliminated that halfway through our whole generation. You can't hand check nobody, but come on. How you not in his face? How you not checking in on that nigga, man? How you giving him so much space? Well, he could attack me like that, then figure a way out of it. This, that, or the other. The girls will do the same thing. Like, come on, girl, you better get up. That's why there's this weird disconnect when it comes to Caitlin Clark. I'm with Kate. I'm on Caitlin's side. Shut up. She's making ball better. She's trying to make this whole thing better.
Yeah, that's
all
the
of
thing.
y'all stop being jealous. She's trying to get y'all paid.
And that's the thing too that was interesting is that all the racists that were trying to make it a race war, Caitlin Clark, to her credit, shut that shit down. I was like, no, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's funny because those same racists are pissed off at her. I'm like, no, she's right. Like, why are y'all trying to make this out to be some racial thing? It's like, look, me and Angel, we're good. We do what we do. That's it. Like,
I hate the fact that, but I do hate the fact that every time Angel opens her mouth about it, it's like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Because there's jealousy, and then there's you just performing. And I can't even tell with you no more. Because I can't even tell with you no more. For a girl that averaged 7 points, you got a lot of shit to say. Like, that's how I feel. Like you talking way too hard. You ain't even got Draymond numbers yet, nigga. Like, but here's my thing. The point is, I find it very fun. Like, even with her, I noticed that some of the ballers, like Maya Moore and all the rest of that, bitch, get up.
Now, I will say this, though.
All those millennials, like, get up, girl. Like, come on.
I've been looking at this.
Real man's game.
So, Seattle got their Victor Wembanyama with Dominique Bologna from France. She's a center. So I'm like, okay, they're calling her basically Victor Wembanyama.
Wemby.
Let's say Wemby. Victor Wemby.
Like, homegirl from France.
Yep, they're saying she's the.
I see. Yeah, okay. I don't know how good Seattle is, but she a legit potential superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, she really is, and everybody. And if you seen her during the Olympics, young.
Also,
man, that's like she's good, bro.
Also, Chicago got a Slovak in their ranks. A Jokic, if you will.
No, they didn't. She's from Lithuania. That's different. That's not a Slav, sir.
Sivka is not a Slav?
No. Actually, that's the girl that's going to Golden State. I'm sorry. She's going to the Valley.
No. Chicago Sky. They got Sivka. She's Slovak.
Slovenian. I know nothing of her. They ain't got a picture of her, man.
They got a picture. I Googled
now,
her.
Haley Van Leaf going to Chicago. That's interesting, man. I actually like her, man.
Yeah, I've seen her a little bit from TCU, right?
Yeah. She actually she was at Louisville at one point too. Yeah, I thought so.
Somebody was talking about how like now it's funny. Now I don't know if you agree with me on this. Like the way college is now, if you transfer, you can play, right? And somebody was saying, I think one of the players she played, I think during the tournament, she broke some sort of record where she played. For every team that she played on, hit the Elite Eight every season.
And I think that was her.
Okay, yeah, because somebody was like, it's kind of wild because it used to be you had a red shirt and you weren't able to play and stuff. We got to kind of bring that back. And I was like, I kind of forgot that they actually let the players play when they transfer.
See, that's why Bo Nix was 29 years old by the time he went to the NFL because they kept red shirting his tail every time he jumped.
Super senior,
yeah. Not right. See, I got to finish having the conversation with my dad when it comes to the NIL deal, because as much as I'm for it, I'm hoping this type of process where we've been seeing with some of these people just jumping from school to school, some of them who are getting deals who ain't worth it. What I'm hoping is a lot of this shit gets weeded out. But we know how sports gets.
Of course.
So I'm kind of like weary. I want these players not to get in trouble because a Reggie Bush deserves to get Reggie Bush stuff in college. You know what I mean? Let me take it back for you. A Brian Bosworth deserves to get everything he gets as a Brian Bosworth because
Mhm.
I'm a face. I'm this, I'm that. I'm getting stuff already because I'm already a star. Now, if you're just, and I'm just gonna make up a name, if you're Daquan Mitchell and you're the 15th best baller in America, and you get a big ass NIL deal to go to Utah. Note what I said, Utah, a very average school when it comes to basketball. That crap I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, I
To
will.
me, that crap I don't like. If you are getting a contract, a real NIL deal that's worth something, you better be going to a top 10 college.
Oh no, I mean, if you want
That's
to go
how I
to,
feel.
if you
But
want to
them going to these,
small ass or
oh man, I
even
got NIL to what for $1 million. God damn, where you going? Florida Atlantic. What? That's stupid.
because it's
That's
like
stupid to
the
me.
best example of this is like, well, the best example in the good way and stuff. You get somebody like, was it Leah Nye, right? She plays for Alabama, right? She got
Yeah.
drafted. I think she got drafted to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
She had a nil deal with Celsius. That is like the layup of layups of nil deals. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, everybody drinks Celsius. I just got to promote Celsius. Like, all right, cool. Like that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and I get that. And if you're like, all right, let's just give it on a smaller scale. If they gave that to like Cade Cunningham back when he was in college, that will make sense. You make sense. If you're on television, you better be going to a North Carolina. You better be going to Louisville. You better be going to South Carolina, UConn, freaking USC. I'm fucking up USC. LSU. You better be going to one of these big colleges to me, man. I just don't make no sense for these kids to be getting these big deals and not getting them. Now, I'm not accusing none of the girls that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And I don't know no name off top where this is egregious. And I think that's the biggest part about this. We're seeing small examples, but we haven't seen somebody that ran the red light yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
we're seeing little itty bitty, like, how much? $400,000. He didn't start yet. What are you talking easy? Like, yeah, we're getting,
and that's not even factoring in the other sports like soccer, baseball,
exactly.
nil deals there because and I think we talked at length about that. Like when it comes to colleges and stuff, basketball, football are going to be the top tier sports that are going to get the play and get all the network deals. But you forget too, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, they get network deals too. It's not as highly publicized in comparison to football and basketball when you see the deals on ESPN as like major news and such.
These baseball deals are a little bit different because you get a lot of kids who get drafted their last year in high school. They end up going to college and they're already drafted to the Yankees, to the Mariners, or whomever, you know,
or the farm teams, and then building up from there.
Of course they're going to be, like I'm saying, like it's like, oh man, this kid is kid goes to, I don't know, just Indiana University, right? Like, all right, he's a shortstop. He's already gotten signed to the Blue Jays, but he's going to do college here. He's doing college here. So how now? That's the one that I don't know how many years baseball players usually do in college. I never heard of a good baseball player doing more than 4 years, doing more than 3 years.
I've seen 2 years tops.
Yeah, I think Max Scherzer, when he was in God, I forgot what college he went to, but I think Max was only in there for 2 years.
I know longevity.
I think Trey Turner was in college for 1 year and he was already out.
Like baseball and soccer in college is interesting because like the ones that stay for 4 years, those are the ones that don't necessarily swing professional per se, or maybe they do. But soccer, it's really, I think to your point, it's kind of like, hey, if you get picked up by a soccer team your first year in college, you're out. That's off the races.
like there have been a couple of teams, a couple of students where they go like, again, this example, dude is a defender, is a winger for Maryland.
Yeah,
he's already gotten signed to Toronto.
Yeah,
he's already signed to Toronto's junior team. Now their junior team, they do junior team shit. They play other junior teams, but you're already signed to Toronto FC, and in some cases, And in some weird cases, that's James Dugan. He's from Ireland. Yeah, he's playing college, but he's playing college ball over here. Yeah. Is he already signed a team out there? Yes, he is. He signed to whatever FC out there. That happens too. So their deal, like I said, their deals are kind of different too, man. But as far as college basketball and football, we haven't seen no one get really Joker like evil with any of the crap they do. Yeah, so we haven't gotten there yet.
Speaking of evil, there is something evil in the funniest way about how going into the tournament, South Carolina got rolled.
South Carolina,
Woo!
to give Dawn Stacy her credit, she a badass coach.
Oh yeah, great, solid coach.
Solid coach, solid coach. All right, let's get off that shit. Bitch, you let them run y'all over like that.
It's like
They ran y'all right over. You know what? Me and my dad.
The first couple of quarters, it's like, all right. And then third quarter, fourth quarter, it was all right.
Third quarter, Chris, was around the time you put up your message. And around the time you put up your message, I text my dad at the same time. I like, Dad, they beating the dog shit out of these girls. My dad texts me back, what did they steal? Like,
bear in mind, UConn. Bear in mind, UConn whooped South Carolina's ass during the regular season.
During the regular season too. I didn't know that was even.
Oh no,
I didn't even know that was even a stat until like the second quarter they mentioned that shit.
So when it happened during the regular season, I sat back.
Yes, it was, Ron. Yes, it was.
So when I saw it during the regular season, I was like, all right, Dawn can kind of take an assessment from this game, and just if they happen to meet each other in the tournament, they know what they need to do to execute. It's like that didn't fucking matter in that game. And UConn just said, nah, we're still gonna keep being UConn and just smoke your ass.
Gino knew the assignment, yeah. He already knew the assignment. He wasn't playing with these girls this season, man. He was really trying to get his ring because last two seasons it was, not the last two seasons, really. It's been mainly Caitlin Clark the last two seasons, yeah. You know what I mean? And Gino is not egotistical, but he's very egotistical, and he wants his girls to be up there all the time.
Here's the kicker. Maryland plays South Carolina. Close fucking game.
Great game, by the way. Let me tell you something about Maryland girls, man. What's the name? Homegirl. Who did she get drafted to? Girl, Sellers. Who did she get?
Sellers got it. Wow.
I just had her name up. Oh, she got drafted to Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State. Yeah, she went to Golden State.
Yeah, congratulations to her and her look. Congratulations to her and her hot, skinny, white lesbian wife. Look, here's her. First off, I don't like any more than you do. And second of all, she's the love of my life. Here's me. That's a lesbian couple.
Love of your life for now.
That's what I'm saying. Now, that's a lesbian couple I've ever seen. But when I saw her and her wife, I was like, so we just getting snow bunnies on both sides. Is that what we do now? Okay, cool. Look, I need to know the rules. I need to know the rules because I need to know.
The upside is that Sellers gets to be with her teammate from Maryland in Gap. Was it Bibby?
Yeah.
So that's great.
You want to know something true? You want to know something real? Know something real? I think she's gonna get 8 in the WNBA. I think Sellers gonna get 8. Look, her and Queen from Maryland too. I think they both about to get 8 when they get to the. They both get 8.
She's in a new franchise, so she has time to grow.
Hey, Chris, she getting 8.
No, I was saying no. It's anytime, and this is history with any.
She's gonna go up for a rebound.
No,
against
it's historical.
And Brittany gonna go up and purposely grab her head and DDT her to the ground. Get up, bitch! That's what she gonna say. I was saying
it's historical for across the board on any sport. Anytime you have an expansion team, there's going to be some rough goings the first 2, 3, 4 years, unless you're the Vegas Golden Knights and you somehow miraculously get to the Stanley Cup your first year.
Or the motherfucking shit. Actually, it's the WNBA, so you're kind of right because the Aces
Yeah.
Seattle Storm did the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't think the
your
Sun
first
did.
couple of years
I
is
don't
rough
think the
goings.
Sun did. The Sun was really good. I don't think they ever won one.
The Mystics to a degree.
One. The Mystics didn't win nothing.
Yeah, the Mystics to a degree. It was that when we got the Mystics in this area, we were all excited. Like, yes, we finally got another team besides the Wizards.
Y'all want to know? Do y'all want to know? Y'all want to know the goalpost for the Mystics for years, y'all?
Which was?
I don't think it's up there anymore, but they had like an unofficial championship of having the best fan base in the WNBA. They had a motherfucking banner for that shit for years. I don't know if it's still up there. I don't think it is. But if it is, y'all need to take that shit down.
It was wild. Like when the Mystics were
for real. Mystics outside, like I think LA and maybe the Liberty, they were the only team that was really actually legit selling out every freaking game.
Yeah, so, I think it was like from the time that they started in 98. Yeah, 98, because I just started high school around that time. 98 through the early 2000s was like, oh man, the Mystics got such a great fan base, and they were packed. No bullshit, they were actually packing out like the arena at the time. It was Verizon Center, right? Or MCI Center.
Verizon Center. Same thing.
Yeah, Verizon Center. Same thing. But anyways, they were selling it out, and it was always that whole thing of it was like you said, like, oh, the best fan base ever. And I was like, how long are we gonna go with this before we get a championship? Because like that shit can only go so far, like before we start freaking out and being like, all right, where's our championship?
Dog, we end up getting Shamiqua. And she was she stayed until 2004, and I'm looking at her stats. She was an all-star 5 times, and she was also 6 times, and five of those were with the Mystics. She was second team 3 times. She was a rookie of the year, rebounding champ, all that, but she never won nothing with the Mystics. She didn't. She ended up playing for the Sparks, the Dream too, but she never won nothing. Yeah. You would. And I remember her being a big star around here, man. I remember she going through some like personal shit too, but I don't remember much about it though. I really don't. But yeah, I've been ever since we mentioned Shamiqua Hallscloth like about a couple weeks ago, man. I've been meaning to legit sit down and actually, look over her life and stuff. But anyway,
but anyways, no, South Carolina getting rolled, but like the Maryland women versus South Carolina was like, oh my God, they might do it. Kind of thing, and then South Carolina did what South Carolina did in the second half, and Maryland was like, "Oh, and it was sad." I think
they played hard though. They really did play hard.
Oh, they did. They really did. I think the men's side of Maryland, it was great because the men's side of Maryland, my man from Baltimore got the game-winning shot. Hold on, what was
Queen?
Queen. Yeah, Queen got the game-winning shot, and probably had the most Baltimore response ever to that.
Whatever. What is that?
It was the most like nonchalant, like, yeah, I did
I liked how everybody started freaking out. He traveled. My verdict, he traveled. He traveled.
But D reparations, because there was a hard foul that went against Maryland that the refs didn't get. So
hold on.
Balance.
And this is me being objectively. This is the whistle. This is me. Yeah, that nigga traveled like a motherfucker. I ain't blow the whistle. I would have never. I would have, because I saw that 1, 2, and then he went through. I was like, he went 1, 2, Euro step, and then when he went through, that was his 4th step.
Yeah. Now
I didn't blow the whistle. I wouldn't blow the whistle either. But
that being said,
that was reparations for losing to Michigan, man. So yeah, that's how I felt about it.
That being said, Florida just mopped the floor with Maryland next game, and rightfully so. Florida has been a very strong team throughout the season,
and rightfully so. I didn't respect them. And guess what they did, Chris? They won Houston. The whole effing thing. Here's the other thing too. I denied Houston on the show because you had Houston doing good. I had Houston getting ducked out.
Houston had a scare against Purdue. I did watch that game. They had a scare, as you do in these tournaments.
But I went ahead and listened to my elder, listened to my dad, because he said, "Oh, book Houston, Houston, Houston," because he really liked Houston as a team and all the rest of that shit. And I was like, "All right, fine." So around about, I think it was like second round. That's when the Purdue game. That's when I was like, "All right, I think Houston's gonna win this shit." Got made all the way to the Final Four, and I was like, "You know what? Hey, my dad called it. Houston, let's go. Let's wow."
It's like, what just happened?
No, them motherfuckers won at the very end, man. Florida didn't deserve that shit, man.
They really
Florida
did.
it's. I'm not even mad. I will say one thing. I am mad. When Houston was celebrating making it to the Final Four, they was all celebrating together. Hakeem Olajuwon comes out. Hakeem, if anybody knows anything about Houston University basketball, Hakeem is a fucking legend.
Oh yeah,
sir, you can't come on the court. I can hear the come out of his. I can hear the African come out of his mouth.
What? What are you talking about? I can't.
It's like this. Like, no, I'm here. I'm here. Like, he was like, look, I've been legend here. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Dream, but you can't come out. What do you mean I cannot go over there? I am like I am Hakeem Olajuwon. That's Hakeem Olajuwon, nigga.
It's the dream.
So I am very, very sorry. Hakeem was my childhood. How in the world are you not letting Hakeem Olajuwon of all people? You know what? Here come Samson. Samson come out there. I understand why y'all don't let Samson out there shit. Like, look here, old man. Don't let your knees buckle. Seriously, no, you can't come out here. You know what I mean? That shit. All right, y'all do Ralph Sampson like that. That's fucked up, but I understand the shit.
Yeah, I respect the gangster a little bit. It's like telling Michael Jordan. That's like Michael Jordan being in North Carolina, and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, Jordan, you can't come on to the."
All right, fuck off, Mike.
Yes, our students wear your shoes, but get the fuck out of here. Like, it's like, all right.
I'm Michael Jordan. Dude looks like a Jumpman sign. I don't believe you.
Nah, Jordan does this shit. He does this. See?
He just be right here. Yeah, likely story.
that icon isn't wearing parachute jeans. All right, Jesus.
Oh God.
But nah, yeah, both NCAA, like I said, the tournaments themselves, I feel every year somebody is just like nerve-wracking on their brackets in terms of actually getting it. But thus is the whole thing with sports betting and parlays, because there was a lot of people that had money on, from what I heard, on South Carolina and UConn. And I guess in terms of like the point spread, they were not expecting the point spread to be that fucking wide though. And that was hilarious because everybody was like, hold on. I expected the game to be good, but goddamn, why did it have to be a wash? Like, it is what it is.
Fucking up the whole brackets and all the rest of that junk. But speaking of brackets, Chris.
So this past Sunday, there was a lot of confusion because it was a lot of jump starts. We initially thought we were going to get Lakers Golden State, but that didn't happen. So basically, we got some play-in games happening where essentially Golden State got to play Memphis, which I think Golden State is going to probably win that game most likely, because we're going to probably end up getting. Most likely, we're going to probably end up getting Rockets Golden State, which I will probably lean it maybe on Golden State on that. But it's the Dallas Kings game that has me curious. That's the one that has me curious because Dallas, last we talked, was very injury. There are a lot of injuries happening to them.
I got this happening. This is not going to happen, by the way, but I got this happening. Mm-hmm. Grizzlies, Rockets, Warriors, Thunder. I think the Warriors are going to lose that game to the Grizzlies. I don't know how.
But they'll win against whoever comes out of.
They are smoking. The Kings, by the way, I think the Kings are going to win that, but they're going to smoke them.
Mhm.
That's not even going to be a question. So I really think 7 and 8 are going to go right in no matter what.
Yeah.
I really think that's what it come down to. And yeah.
Hey, here's
Because
my
at
thing.
first, I was more hyped that we were going to get the Timberwolves, but the Timberwolves pulled out that last win because it really was everybody had like 47 wins. You know what I mean? So I will give it that. It was kind of tightened to the wire in the
I'm
West.
just gonna say it right here. I'm just gonna say it right here. Nuggets are gonna wash the Clippers. I have no trust in the Clippers whatsoever.
Okay, so if we're going with what I said, 6 games Thunder over the Warriors. But the Thunders, they're going to take a lot at the Thunder.
Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. Give me one second.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Working Title Sports Show. Working Title Sports Show with all the professional. We keep it professional as possible.
Take this shit no more, man.
What we can to entertain
Now
all of you.
everybody is seeing what I have seen for the last couple years. Look, I am sick of you niggas. Every day the same shit.
Okay, now I know that last one was like very, very random, and it really didn't have nothing to do about sports, but it's 3 bag beats.
Habibi firebombing got a missile tuck. If them robbers come through, then I guarantee they give it up. Lifestyle huge, this basic bitch, she into little stuff. Hit a bucket, shit, I'm getting clutch. Monkey spot a fiend, whip it up, and then he fix her up.
I forgot the dad long length, but I had a delivery. But anyways, my dark.
Really? This was you. This was you then.
Unfortunately.
I love the non-connecting punch
to Brody. Brodus, was it Brodus? I forgot the guy. I forget.
And the best thing about it is if you look at that clip. Oh no, wasn't that on Jericho's
Yeah, that was one of Jericho's security. I'm about to say Brodus or something like that. I got
names. You the WCW guy, man.
Yeah, I think it was Brodus or whatever and stuff, but he always wore the tight Jericho security shirt. It did. Him and Norman Smiley teamed up.
I used to that shit was funny.
But nah,
that shit was wacky. Anyway,
Lakers, Timberwolves. That's going to be a good series.
I think here's the thing. Full disclosure, I'm rooting for the Lakers. I'm rooting for the Lakers in this whole situation. I don't think they're going to make it. But let's just see what the scenario. I think the Wolves are not going to win that one. The Wolves are going to take a chunk out of them too, because I think it's going to go 6 games.
If it goes longer than 6 games, that's
unnecessary games.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going with what I said before, I think I'm gonna give the Rockets the benefit of the doubt, and they're gonna come out of that jump pretty well. They're gonna beat whoever. They're gonna beat the Grizzlies. In fact, if you are the Rockets, you should be rooting for the Grizzlies, because if they gotta go against the Warriors, they will lose that thing. So we're going with that scenario. Yeah, the Warriors are going to beat them. They can beat the Grizzlies. And I'm not saying that they can't beat the Warriors, but I want to see them beating the series with Jimmy Butler going championship.
What's that?
He's going to nose wide, 100,000%, man. So like I'm saying, I don't think they got a chance. It's the second round that I'm interested in. Because I don't think, even without Mike Malone, which by the way, pro gamer move on Denver, pro gamer move. But that being said, even without Mike Malone, I don't have the Thunder beating the Nuggets. The Nuggets, I still have them favored to come out of the West. But
Nuggets, to me, it's kind of like
they're going to be funny anyway, bro.
The Nuggets to me represents because of all the trade moves that the Lakers and Warriors did. it puts the Nuggets in a situation where nobody's really looking at them because everybody's so hype on, oh, Jimmy Bucket's going to do big things for Golden State, or Luka is going to be big for the Lakers. And it's like, meanwhile, like the Denver Nuggets have been pretty consistent, and they got Russ coming off the bench. And it's like,
I will put run wrench in that, Chris. Despite what you said, James Harden lately.
Who do you think you are? I am.
That's fair.
Now, I don't think the Clippers got enough to even threaten to get to the championship, because
somebody said if it gets to longer, if it gets like 7 games, that's going to be like, that could be something.
I think if they beat the Nuggets, I don't think they can beat the Thunder. I don't think Thunder can beat. I don't think they can beat Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma actually should take advantage of that and want the Clippers to do that, because I think they can. I think they can dissect the Clippers. But Lakers Rockets is going to be interesting, but also Lakers versus the Warriors is what we all want in the second round.
We kind of do, because we need to see whose trade is going to be more powerful than the other.
Now, this is where D can come out as a dude that loves the NBA and all this dumbass splendor. And I actually like looking at Laker games. Chris, can finally have the goblet in my hand with the food on my face. Let us see who is the strongest amongst you. Is it LeBron James and his overloaded team? Or is it Stephen Curry trying to proclaim glory? Begin. We all want that. We all want to be the hedonism bot with the grapes going fight each other.
Here's the sick part. When I look at the East, right? Obviously Celtics, right?
Yeesh.
But then
yeah, look, I'm gonna be real. What we even doing anything with the East? Boston got this.
If there's 2 dark horses that I had, well, my dark horse for the East, I hate them, but the Knicks is my dark horse.
We talked to our boy, and I agree. It ain't gonna be the Knicks, because the Knicks is beat up.
Who is it going to be? Who's the dark horse?
My dark horse,
Detroit.
Gross, is actually going to be the Pacers.
That's not ill, because I told you before the Pacers,
because the Bucks ain't going to beat nobody.
They got a good matchup against Boston, but like I said, Boston got the veteran edge over the Pacers.
Now, I know it was the last game of the season, but what I have seen, Chicago better go in there and beat the shit out of the Heat. The Heat look like they're done. The Heat looks like they're so done for.
If the Heat win, I am going to be shocked.
If they win that one, they did that out of spite. They won that out of spite if they win that one, but we'll see. But the real matchup is the Hawks versus Magic. I legit think that's going to be a great game, actually.
Hawks going to probably win that one.
I want the Hawks to win because I like when Trey Young wins. It's a big fuck you to everybody. So I want Trey to win that one. But Orlando is a fun little team that
they're a fresh upstart.
What they have, I want the Wizards to have in 2 years. That's what I'm saying. That's the best way I can say it.
If you really think about the East, right? Detroit had to crawl from being the whipping boys of the East to now they're actually in the playoffs proper and succeed. And like I said, that's most people when they look at sports, it's not sexy because who wants to watch their team constantly lose? But then if you're actually a fan of the team, you're seeing them build up to where they're at. And I think that's how we're seeing this with the Wizards. It's like, all right, they got rid of Kuzma. We see the potential of where they could actually be at in a few years.
Little game. And that was a fun little game. Like I said, it was the end of the year, but you got to see the rookies put on a show, and they won at a buzzer beater. And the team looked like a legit team where they were all happy to be around each other. And it was like one of those things. Yeah, this is a shitty season. But they learned a whole lot, and I'm glad they did. And I see the same type of trajectory for them. Now, here's the funny thing. Where the Wizards are, I don't want to be the if you're the Wizards, you want to be the Pistons. You don't want to be Charlotte. I feel like Charlotte.
I feel Charlotte's been spinning their wheels for a minute.
I feel like, and I think nobody wants to admit this. You know, Melo's down there spinning his wheels, right?
That's how I feel. Like I feel like at some point, Melo,
you're gonna have to move him out of there, man.
No, but here's the thing: Melo has always said he wants to stay in Charlotte. Cool, but like, is that just him saying that, or is he like just like what is it? You know, that's the thing. And is management going to actually say fuck it and trade him for somebody else? Who knows?
I can understand why he wants to stay in the city that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can understand. There's a reason why John Wall wanted to stay when he stayed in Washington. There's always a reason why certain stars, when they get established,
because you want to do something for the city in a significant way.
Exactly. You want to stay there. You want to make a legit impact on the city. I feel that sometimes it is a bit of a lost cause. Let's put it this way. That's actually the best example. I had no problem with the Wizards doing what they did for John Wall.
Mm-hmm.
What they did for Bradley Beal, however, remember, even we said it, as much as we were glad that Bradley got the deal, we were like, hey, Bradley, do you think you got the team for that?
I mean,
like with Gilbert Arenas, when Gilbert did it, we knew why Gilbert did it. He had to set up this, that, on the rest of that shit. Same thing with John Wall. He had Bradley Beal there. He had a decent defense. All they had to do was bring in a vet. They were straight. You know what I mean? I understand why they did that. Certain teams, you wonder, is it a good idea to hold on to this talent that long, despite that talent being loyal there? You know what I mean? That's what.
Yeah.
Now, in the case of Cade Cunningham, Cade did the right thing because Cade knew that, he already knew that he was a star. They just needed time, man. And that's the reason why I think it really worked out for the Pistons way better than it has for at least for Charlotte, at least for right now. Also, Charlotte, remember, a lot of people getting hurt on Charlotte, but whatever, man.
Yeah.
But finally, yeah, but let's look at this shit. Yeah, I think it's gonna be it's the Celtics championship to lose, in my opinion. Because pound for pound, coaching to talent to the way they play, they can beat everybody on this board to me.
Yeah.
Flat out. And
really,
I mean, everybody, even up to the Nuggets, they can beat them. The Nuggets going full power, still going to have a problem going against the Celtics to me.
Yeah.
Shit, nigga.
I mean, the Celtics has always been like, and like I said, that's the whole thing with them, with Porzingis has always been, that's why Porzingis hasn't really been playing consistently during the regular seasons, because they've been basically making sure he's healthy for the playoffs.
He's a real legit defensive presence.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best, and I stand by that. One of the best things that happened to him was getting demoted, going back to the Mavericks and going back to the Wizards. Those are the best things that happened to him. He went to Dallas and DC and just loaded. You just saw the meter go up. Yeah, that dude went to that thing. He went to the Mavericks, busted down from the 86 that he used to be down to a 77. Left Dallas, came to Washington, was an 84. Now he's back at an 88. Like I said, yeah. Kristaps Porzingis is the main reason why they're going to win it, man. Because you have that big of an offensive, just a real legit two-way threat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that can play on both ends of the court beautifully, nigga.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna, like I said, the playoffs are gonna be interesting.
That's the NBA playoffs.
Here's the thing about the playoffs, though. This is what's going to be interesting. We talk about ratings, right? There are so many people that had this mentality of they don't want to see Boston versus Denver because it's not sexy and stuff. And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
that's exactly what you. I would think that's what you want.
You want, because here's the thing. When you got Boston, Dallas, what happened? Boston wiped the floor with Dallas because Dallas just didn't have the personnel that could combat Boston. So you want either Boston versus Denver, Boston versus Golden State, or Boston versus the Lakers. Because that's especially the Lakers. That's fucking
Lakers. That's
both
sides of the country. You're done. Here's the thing. everybody's been talking about when it comes to ratings and how everything feels. I think two things is a twofold. It's the biggest part of why the NBA in people's eyes are on a downslope. I know exactly what people are saying. I can understand gameplay. We can get into how the game is played, what's detracting from it, what's actually helping it, what's us being old heads, what's us not understanding the game. That can be all challenged and talked about and debated and actually be healthy. You know what I mean? The part that a lot of people are starting to come around to is that the NBA media absolutely sucks. It absolutely sucks. It don't know how to make stars, and the stars that they do have, the stars ain't good enough.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting with. And it's pissing me off that the NBA has to legit kind of lean into what's going to be our best bet as a championship. Now they're always looking at that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As far as like, I'm starting to buy into all the little shit that we see around the NBA, where the NBA is trying to orchestrate shit to make sure shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand where Gilbert came from when it came to the Wizards, kicking him out and getting John Wall the next year off of front, because if you look at the way the draft was set up, the Wizards had no chance of getting the number one pick that year and end up magically getting the number one pick that year. You know what I mean? Same thing goes with Wemby. So I can understand certain things get orchestrated. Hearing Evan Turner talking about, oh shit, we're gonna be into this, yeah, woo, woo, woo. And they saying, nigga, we gotta have to win this game by 15 points, bro. Like, what you talking about? What you talking about, nigga? Just enjoy your time, man. Just enjoy the time. This is top flight basketball. You want to be on television. Just enjoy it. What do you mean? What do you mean? We ain't gonna be playing hard? Oh, you gonna be playing hard, but you're gonna be realizing, fuck, how we down 10 points, and you realize we getting called for fouls every 5 seconds and all that. So yeah, I can see where the NBA orchestrates shit. I hate when it's so transparent like it is right now, where they're kind of like, we needed to be the Lakers and the Celtics. We needed to be New York versus the Lakers or something like that. You know what I mean? I hate it when the NBA gets into that mode, man. Because right now, what you're looking at, more than likely is going to be, what they don't want is Oklahoma versus anybody.
Which is wild, because it's like, damn, you don't want OKC, the number ones.
And this is where they don't know how to make stars. You mean to tell me you got 4 legit young stars on that team, and y'all refuse to put Chet Holmgren over like that? Y'all refuse to put Shea, who's been MVP level. Why does it still feel like he's still gaining fans that don't know who he is?
Thank you.
Because the NBA don't know how to make no stars no more. That's why. How was it when we were kids? Every nigga knew who Detlef Schrempf was. But you mean to tell me, like, you see what I'm saying, right? You see what I'm saying? Off the break right there. No offense to Detlef Schrempf. Great defender, great shooter. But still, you see what I'm saying, right? How is it that all of us knew who that nigga was, but how hardly any of us know who's the second star on the Pistons? How hardly any of us know who's coming off the bench for the Bucks, yeah? Because y'all don't know how to make stars. Simple and plain, man. Outside of Cat and Brunson, niggas have a difficult time telling me somebody else is on the Knicks. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, it's just you know. But speaking of
that's
which,
where we at. That's where we always been at technically, because Chicago just masked a lot of that, because Chicago's a big market. So they kind of masked them doing shady shit back then. But anyway.
So NFL draft is coming up in 2 weeks.
Yes, nobody still don't know who's going to get Shadar.
Didn't he slide down in ranks? Allegedly.
Apparently, he moved up because the Giants are looking at that nigga.
Yeah, because Dion, there was a joke.
Second rounder. Why are we putting him out in the first round?
Somebody said that if the Giants get Shador, Dion sat there and was like, "Oh Lord, be prepared. You're gonna be in that prayer circle with Russ and what's his face."
He's gonna be in that prayer circle though, yeah.
With Russ and what was god damn it, keep forgetting his name.
Who?
The other quarterback that he got, other black quarterback.
Yeah, they got Jameis Winston. I forgot.
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
How do you get
He's like, you're gonna be in a
two?
prayer circle with Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson.
How do you get two of the loudest Christians in the NFL on one team? You got two of the loudest Christians, which is kind of funny at the dynamic of Christians that we're seeing. We're seeing dark ass Christian and light Christian. We're seeing Baptist church versus the praise and worship guy got jeans on. Oh Lord, you are a fighter. We're seeing a difference in both of these things. We see, hey Chris, here's the big one. I'm seeing, all right, y'all. Everybody go out to the back. We got chicken. We got some food served after church, and it's gonna be back there. Versus, we're all going to Shoney's after church. You want to come with us? That's the difference that we got.
That's what Dion sat there and laughed at. It was like, all right.
But yeah, I still don't know who they still got Cam going on first pick.
Yeah, they still got Cam Ward as number 1 pick.
Yeah.
He's one of only like 3 quarterbacks in the first round because it's him, Jackson Dart, and Shedeur.
Shedeur is a second rounder. I'm sorry.
Where's Travis Hunter? Where do you think Travis Hunter is going to land at though?
That is a good question. I don't know where he's going to land at. I'm being real. Yeah, he's a Heisman winner. I'm questioning how he's going to make his transition to the NFL.
I'm going to laugh so hard where Shedeur is at. There's just, again, take it with a grain of salt. Given the amount of wiggle room Dallas have with all those second round picks and such, somebody was saying Dallas could maneuver to get Shedeur as a QB.
Here's the thing. I don't know.
It's a huge leap, but that's the rumor.
I heard the other rumor also, which was Dak Prescott for TJ Watt.
That just doesn't feel like an equivalent exchange.
It feels wrong for us to get TJ Watt and no quarterback.
Yeah.
We're losing a quarterback. Pittsburgh's gaining a quarterback. They're losing TJ Watt. Granted, that's the whole defense. And granted, 85% of the team of Pittsburgh itself. But still, at least y'all niggas got Dak Prescott throwing to y'all wide receivers. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
How we doing out of this? So I think that's stupid.
Yeah, it's
Tyreek Hill, which no, because Jerry Jones is a coward. But that being said, do it, Dallas. This seems like one of those dumb ass trades y'all would do. And you know what? Because we're so desperate for a move, I want it to happen.
Oh, because they want to do a move to be sexy.
Give up those your first rounder and the 2 second rounders for Tyreek Hill, because they'll take it over. They'll take Tyreek. They don't want to pay his last year in that contract. And let us go ahead and take that nigga, him, CD, and Dak. That's actually nasty. You gave Dak Prescott Tyreek Hill, Dak, who is famous for throwing directly into the sky so it can low bomb it on the other. Nigga, come on. I want that to happen. That's the shenanigans I wake up.
Okay, so Dallas has the 12th pick in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they had the 12th pick in the first round, so that could go.
We have to. First off, Russell Wilson does not go to a Hillsong church. Yes, he wears the uniform of a Hillsong church member. Don't you dare call him. I would not let you call that black man. Anyway.
Yeah. Like Dallas getting the 12th pick in the first round, that could go to anybody. So we'll see what they go with and stuff. But they basically saying, like Todd Archer was basically saying, they have a lot of flexibility in terms of that. It's all going to come down to how Jerry operates with those picks, which, you know, every sports pundit is basically scoffing at, like, yeah, Jerry's going to fuck up. You know,
Jerry's
this whole
fuck up. He ain't
gonna do something stupid. you know, and it's like, yeah, you know, best you can do is just cross your fingers and hope, you know.
Real quick. 4 races in, and Chris, we are the moment. 4
Oh,
races in.
hold up. Time out. Before you go into that, Matt Hasselbeck's dad died. Don Hasselbeck. Yes, died the other day.
The Hasselbeck family. Yes, I know. Yeah, that is an actual football family.
Yes, very.
So Matt Hasselbeck. I ain't heard that. It's been a
Don
while.
Hasselbeck was the tight end for the family.
Yes, he was. If I'm mistaken, his other brother, the I think it was a brother
Tim
on
Hasselbeck.
there. I think he was like a coach or something like that.
I believe so.
Yeah, I know that's a whole football family, man. Yeah, but I know about the dad. Yeah. He was a tight ends coach. Yeah.
So just had to put that out there. But yeah, F1.
F1, real quick. It's been 4 races so far, and what you see is definitely what you're getting. Ferrari's having a tough time trying to figure out how to, not shoot themselves in the foot. As you see, Verstappen is the only nigga doing anything right now. Don't let that fool you with the dude down there that be licking paint eating chips off the window. Stroll all the way down to 10th place. Don't let that fool you. That nigga ain't doing nothing either. But the real big surprise is Alex Albon in 8th place. But the race for first place is already kind of shaped out right now, and it's going to be McLaren, Piastri versus Norris so far, and that's been kind of all right. I don't feel like going into too much of the drama, but as far as the team standings, you see where McLaren's sitting at. Already, this is McLaren's season to F up. They don't if they just keep on putting out good production, they're going to win the team title too. So already. It's real too early to even call with that, But outside of that, that's all I really going to say for right now for F1. I'm not really going into it as much as I thought I would.
Did you see? Okay, so Rory McIlroy won.
McIlroy, I meant to get a picture of that. He won the Masters. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Here's the thing, though. There was a moment where he was about to fuck it up, and he somehow recovered because Skip was like, Rory, what are we doing here? You had a 4-stroke lead. The fuck is going on here? And all of a sudden it's like, all right, cool, he won. But still, it was a scary moment going into the final day. And it's like, oh damn, he almost botched that fucking lead up.
We saw something really interesting with it. I forgot the exact golfer, but Lil Wayne was even saying it where they weren't putting my man over because he was a LIV golfer in the Masters.
Yeah.
And the PGA wasn't putting that nigga on television. And he was one of the best people that whole weekend. Everybody was like, that's fucked up. And I knew this was going to happen from the PGA. The second you let one of them live golfers out there, I knew they were going to be like, show him once.
Don't show him again.
Him and his Saudi money can comfort.
Look, that has been a point of what's funny? You and even Sue, we talked about this, especially on Pressing Buttons, about Saudi blood money and all that. And that's it's very fair on on the political side because
we're seeing it. Well, are they Saudis? I think they are. We're seeing it in F1 right now. We're seeing it in F1. We're seeing it in FIFA right now.
FIFA, F1, esports even. They're trying to get into the NBA allegedly because I think one of them wanted to have stock in the Wizards, in the Wizards and stuff. So it's I get the political angle of feeling some way and stuff, and it does make you kind of damn, can I still watch this or do this with that? And like I said, it's understandable, but I feel that's going to happen even if Saudis weren't around. There's always going to be some compromising aspect to something that you're not going to like, and you have to make that choice of whether you want to stick with it.
Good example is this. I don't want to deal with Americans. Why? All of your money is in blood too. You know that, right?
Everything is. I mean,
a lot of, especially in America, like what are you talking about? Yeah, from the iPhones that y'all niggas buy to the clothes y'all actually make, made in blood of people who are poor. You do realize that, right? Your whole culture as Americans have been sapped from black people on a daily basis. Everything you do is just a downgrade of what black people do on it is what black people do every day. So America has a lot of fucking nerve to have this little thing. Oh, this is the blood money from the Saudis. How is their blood money any different from your blood money? That's all I can say, and I understand it. Now, from a from a political climate standpoint, I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a country or you are an entity, like WWE took a big hit. Vince McMahon didn't care during a time when nobody was trying to do no deal with the Saudis. He did.
Mm-hmm.
He took a big hit for that shit. People still look at WWE wrong for that shit. I understand in situations like that. That's where you need to have a question, a filter, or something is saying that maybe we shouldn't be putting our name on this shit. But then again, here's my thing. All money in this case is going to be blood money in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
College football. Oh, but college football is noble. No, it ain't. For years, it was a plantation.
Until
For
the nil deals kicked
decades.
in.
Yeah, until the nil deals kicked in, it's been a plantation for
And
decades.
said slave owners are now pissed off, like these slaves are making more money than I am. What's going on?
Didn't know these niggers was actually going to go to the college and get educated. Didn't see that coming. Like, dog, like we talk about, well, baseball ain't fair. How much money is coming out of? We have to hear horror stories of dudes coming out of Cuba to play baseball in America.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just, and you know what, and the announcers say this shit so nonchalantly. Well, there's I'm just gonna make it up. There's Devin Gomez. You know that he came to America. Yeah, it was a very trying time. He had to actually immigrate into America through Mexico. Yes, he had to actually travel from Guatemala into America, into Mexico, and after 3 short years, after trial and tribulation through the court system, he's here. The count is 0-1. Like, yo, you really like nigga, you just like and like, what are y'all not noticing with this shit, man? You know that the thing that killed me is like somebody got mad at the Olympics for being authoritative because like they was like, yeah, we're going to actually have retesting to make sure there's not going to be any trans athletes doing yada yada woo woo woo. Everybody that's for trans athletes are freaking out because they're like, they're trying to kick him out. No, we're just trying to make sure y'all in the right category. Jesus.
But here's the thing. Look, not to go political and stuff. That's what makes.
I understand the shit, yeah.
Not to go political. That's what makes Trump's whole thing about like banning trans athletes so stupid. Because it's like
that's
Trump,
so weird.
There's like Trump. There's already things in place to keep that, and that's why it's not a thing the way you and the rest of your idiots keep thinking it is. Because like,
and I told
what are we doing here?
Nobody wants to see a woman get hurt, get the brakes beat off her by a man in the octagon. Nobody wants to see that. But there are things in place to make sure that shit.
We talked about it we talked about it as much with that with old girl from that country where everybody says she's trans, and it's like, you know, her country bans trans people, so she's not
she's
trans.
She's Angola, Nick.
She's a woman.
She's from Tunisia. Tunisia. Do you know what they worship in Tunisia? Tunisian Jesus? No, you dumbass. Islam. What is Islam super against? Gay folk. How you think they're gonna react?
Thank you. So it's like
she walking around with a whole penis.
Yeah, so it's just like that. The whole thing is just ridiculous, and it's just
it is.
You know,
I understand the feeling of it, the feeling of that shit. You just want to make sure it's a fair game. That's my big thing. I want to make sure it's fair because the girls, because you hear athletes say one of the most heartbreaking thing is when you had to hear a track star talk about racing at somebody they know is juiced up. They say it's like racing a robot. That's so disheartening because you ain't got enough. The robot can go forever. You can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's disheartening as hell. But also what it is to me is when you get it, when it is that situation where a girl like where it's just straight up unfair. It's just not fair. Like a dude's been a man all his life, and all of a sudden he's racing you with all that crispy, unadulterated, 100% uncut testosterone been pumping in his blood. That's unfair. That's steroids compared to women, man. That's unfair.
It really
you can't do that.
So
So you know,
So
I get where it comes from, but Trump is just being an asshole, man.
yeah. Now, switching over real quick, hockey. Alex Ovechkin broke great Gretzky's record, which was great.
Wonderful.
The great one.
You know what got me? What got me was how gracious Wayne Gretzky was about this whole situation.
Oh yeah.
He wanted Alex to beat the record. He was all for it. He went to every game where it was possible for Alex.
He went to it when they tied, and then he went to the game after.
I think this was the one where we tied at.
Okay, yeah, this is the one that was tied and stuff. The Caps are number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, which is great. As we roll into the playoffs, everything's looking good for the team. Actually, funny enough.
Yeah, I hope that beating the record was the biggest thing for Alex, but in doing so, it actually bounced the Capitals into not only a winning record, but a very strong winning record. As far as them going to these, they say they got good chance of competing for that Stanley Cup this year, but it's hockey, and if you know anything,
I mean,
and just real talk, you know anything about Capitals hockey in the last 15, 20 years, that don't mean nothing. Us being in first place don't mean shit.
I will say this: they have if there's 2 teams out of the Eastern Conference they got to contend with, you got the Maple Leafs, who was pretty much behind them by like 3 games.
But it's the Maple Leafs, so it's Maple Leafs. But
Tampa Bay Lightning is definitely scary as a
Tampa
team.
Tampa been up all year, man. So yeah,
Carolina. That's a third.
I haven't heard much from Carolina this year. I heard Tampa all year, but like not much from Carolina. Heard Toronto all year too, but Toronto's Toronto, so you know.
Yeah, Carolina, they've been like kind of like the people underestimate them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really where it's like you don't want to say, oh, the Caps will beat them, and it's like, oh shit, Carolina, did their thing. So, but it's really like you said, it's really Toronto and Tampa Bay. They're like the 2 that people are like, oh shit, they might give the Caps a run for their money. Basically, especially Toronto. So
I the one thing I will say is this though. You know what got me though, Chris?
Yeah.
All this was going down. This incredible record that went down is a great day for hockey. Great for sports in general. Like I said, to see a great see another great go up, it was wonderful. Do you want to know what ESPN said the very next day about this?
Which is
who's done more, him or LeBron?
Because that's what ESPN does. They do this thing for ratings.
Wait. Can you talk about the other hockey teams? You know what I like? Like, don't get me wrong. I like football coverage, love basketball coverage. You know what would be better if y'all did another sport like baseball?
Mm-hmm.
Properly do baseball.
Yeah.
Properly do hockey. You know what I will also like, because it's actually been getting higher ratings every year? I would love for y'all to do more WNBA coverage instead of just licking the girl's nipple and just walking off saying that you did foreplay. I would love for you to do more than that. You know what else I would love for you to do, because the ratings are actually going up, and it's actually beginning a very, very strong Latino fan base, and it's actually becoming a really big part of sports lately. Major League Soccer has been getting better every single year for the last 5 years, and I actually respect it. I would love more coverage of that shit. I would like that, ESPN. Talking about something that ain't basketball, something that ain't comparing LeBron's legacy for no reason.
Especially when you have the one black guy that's their NHL expert. And then it's like you could have kept the focus on that, and it's like, well, who has the most important record? Like you said, Ovechkin or LeBron. I'm like, what? No, like keep the focus on. Record? Like I would have rather the coverage.
Does this have anything to do with LeBron James?
Because you could have went over the history of like Wayne Gretzky's record and what he accomplished that led into that. It could have been a really good history lesson for folks that aren't really informed on it, and you boil it down to this ratings grab, and it's like, why?
It's
like,
so stupid. It's like I said, that's the thing that kills me. You lose a lot of that's where ESPN is losing a lot of faith in people. You don't talk about sports
because the way you just said that, it feels like they were, and I'm pretty sure Stephen A was probably a part of that.
Stephen A was there, I think.
I have a feeling they probably took the piss out of hockey during that conversation in a way that probably would have irked me, and I probably would have shut it off because it's like, all right, man, like, damn.
You know, say what you will about the product getting kind of more stagnant too, but you know what's been actually a fantastic sport that I have been quietly following? Just haven't put out there because I'm still not a fan like that.
Yeah.
MMA.
Oh, yes.
UFC has been very interesting these last 2 years. Not interesting in the sense of like, you know, good fights, but it's interesting in this will be a good conversation to talk about the ethics in sports and how much certain people get paid. You know what? What Dana White is doing is not right. How do you compare this to yada yada yada? No, only when it's a mega big fight and Dana White wants y'all out. Dana White pulls out his 2-incher for all of y'all to suck and not to talk about the good fights the way y'all should. Like, that's the thing that pissed me off, man. ESPN deserves to be where they at. And then y'all overpay, and I said it. I ain't saying that the brother shouldn't got his money, but then you overpaid Stephen A. Smith like that. And now he's the only thing on the channel worth watching. That's sad, bro.
Yeah. It's hella sad. Like I said, I
had to mention that because that pissed me off, bro.
No, because to me, the conversation never goes into anything productive that could get people more informing of like hockey as a whole. Because I'm gonna put this prediction out here right now. Given that they're both number one in their respective conferences, we might get that run back between the Caps and Vegas Golden Knights.
Nah, I don't think hockey wants that. Hockey would love hockey would like Alex Ovechkin in the championship. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, that's definitely there because you break the record and you're in a championship. But yeah, like you said, do you want Vegas?
You know what? Actually, I think you do want Vegas there because Vegas means that there's going to be people in Vegas watching this game, and people want Vegas to be like a hot spot for some stupid reason when it comes to sports. So I think, that's kind of what they want.
So speaking of Vegas, WrestleMania 41.
Let's go. Eric, Chris, this whole weekend has been a very, very this build up. This build up has been very interesting all the way around, man. If it ain't him, it's this shit going down.
Naomi and Jade. I will say this.
Oh my god.
The amount of storylines that is happening. Number one, the underrated match that I think is going to be great.
Actually, hold up. Let's go through them. Let's just go through.
No. I'm going through with it. But I'm just saying. Night one.
There we go.
Underrated match to me is going to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable.
That's going to be an underrated match. That's going to be a fun little stupid.
Because number one, a lot of people are feeling some way about El Grande Americano because it feels very Vince McMahon-esque.
That means it's working.
But like, here's the thing.
Shut the fuck up.
No. I'm with it, but like I'm with it. I think a lot of people are over exaggerating their anger for it because it's not because it doesn't have that racist tinge that Vince would throw on it.
Oh, Vince would have went with this one. The Gulf of America is as far as you can go.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. And do you know the reaction from people? How dare they call it a Gulf of America?
But like,
this is so anti-Latino. Here's me. You're welcome.
But my thing is this: if it was Vince, he would have took it 8 steps further past where it's at, and it would have been probably terrible.
Was Eddie Guerrero? Eddie was like, man, this is what I want you to do, man. Like, drag me, but you're going to drag me over the borderline. We're going to say this is the borderline, and you just like drag me over the border. We're going to do that, man. Come on, man. Do it to me, Holmes. Eddie would be for this shit.
I feel low-key Rey Mysterio is for this shit, which is why this match is happening, because Rey is like, all right, we can make this work.
All right, first off, that's racist as shit, but I want to do this. Let's go.
But Jade and Naomi.
Hold on. We ain't gonna skip the actual banger. You
Which
mean to
is?
tell me that the War Raiders and New Day, y'all want to talk about a warm-up match
That
that's
is gonna
going
be
to be
banger.
nice?
Look,
That's a
look.
warm-up match.
If
New
you
Day's going to lose.
look,
Actually, New Day winning. I got
oh,
New
they
Day
winning.
winning that.
Look,
We
look, look,
winning
look,
that
look,
one.
look.
We
Here's the
winning
thing.
that one.
It is the
We
most.
black people. We winning that
Here's
one.
here's the thing. New Day. I am loving. It's like it's basically like an upgraded heel New Day compared to when they first debuted and they were heels, where it was like funny heels. This is like, oh, they're like, no, we're the new heels.
It's that it's the African. It's the mean African father beard that Kofi got. Kofi just kept with the chin strap, took off the mustache. I'm like, he looked like every angry Ghanese father. I'm like, I love it. I love it.
Feel low key. That's how he treats his kids.
Xavier, more taco meat than usual. I love it.
Wearing the shirts showing said taco meat.
Showing the taco meat and everything. I love
You know what? War Raiders, I have been loving them as a tag team.
They're a great
with them.
tag team.
I love it. So I think this is going to be definitely a banger of a match to start off night one for sure.
Yeah, because New Day, the one thing I love about New Day, I've always liked about it, they always made everybody else in the ring better. Like that's the reason why the Usos are so good as they did. To me, the Usos ain't had no good matches since they stopped wrestling the New Day. but still, they made them like the whole thing with Luke and Harper. Remember when Luke Harper and Eric Rowan them fighting the New Day? Oh man, all of them
dude, great
matches, man. So I trust that they can do it. And plus, man, Eric and Ivar, man, who has been on a roll because he had to be by himself because Eric was hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so it's gonna be a great little quiet match.
Look.
Jade and Naomi. All right, y'all. Now it's time for D to be honest with you. I'm gonna love every second of this.
Naomi is going to carry
I don't gush about Jade, but I think Jade is a very, very fine. Know how I said fine, not fine, black woman. I saw her promo. Oh shit. Okay. I saw Naomi's promo. Oh, Naomi's overacting. I love it. Naomi's overacting because when Naomi overacts, she's acting like herself. And it's like, oh, she's being hood. That's all that unnecessary Florida in her. I love it. And I thought to myself, how's this match going to look? Ew!
I mean, look.
Look,
I'm just laughing at the image of Jade, of Naomi being the one that put Jade through that fucking car front window now, thinking back on how this all started.
So I got a question. Naomi's going to have to lose this one, ain't she?
I mean, it'd be kind of because if Jade wins, if Jade loses, you know, people would be like, "See, WWE, they're stymieing Jade," and you know how the smarks are.
You know what? You're kind of right.
You know how the smarks are.
You know,
AEW would have treated her better.
Right. No. Let's take the marks out of this. I'm going to the different marks. The black girls who only watch WWE for the other black girls. I do not want to be in the chat when Jade loses that match to Naomi. I do not want to be there. This is going to be WWE, all types of races, despite Naomi winning that show.
Here's the thing, though. If I have the
but I'm probably underestimating it. I think more people want Naomi to win this than Jade.
No, but that's the thing. Like, if I had to put my finger on the pulse of social media, particularly a lot of the black women that watch wrestling, especially on X and Blue Sky, a lot of them are loving this match. First off,
of course they are.
They loving it, and it's past just black girl magic or any of that stuff. It's like,
Chris, of course they are. Sasha Banks ain't doing shit. Of course they are.
Oh, that too. But like, and it's past just like, oh, representation. Fuck all that. I think that's low common denominator shit to assume that's what it is. I think it's because they genuinely like both girls. And they're loving just the crazy dynamics of both of them. Like,
I think so.
Oh, okay, cool. So. I like this.
Even though, and I stand by what I said, I like Jade, but good Lord, Jade, you really are just a pretty thing to look at. That's like I hate saying it like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, they got to be more to her. Is she really Lex Luger? And then you look at her. This bitch really is Lex Luger.
But you know what, dude?
Now, hold on, Chris. narcissist Lex Luger. No, not even the narcissist. If it was the narcissist, I would be loving it because she would have a mirror in the ring. She'd be purposely flexing for no reason.
That could come. That could come. But
I've
here's
been
my
waiting
thing.
on it. No, it could came, but they decided to make Naomi the heel and make her the face.
But here's my thing, though. I think we as Black people have always said, hey, equality is letting us as Black people be mediocre and thrive. And if Jade
Shut
can
the
be
fuck
mediocre
up.
and thrive.
You don't do that. You don't do that. Ain't nothing about her body mediocre. And you know
No, I'm
ain't
talking
nothing
about,
mediocre
I'm
on
talking
that girl
past
body.
just, I'm talking past the body. I'm talking about wrestling wise.
We
Look,
talk about promo wise too. I swear, man.
look. If we can get a Black Lex Luthor and Jade is the closest we're going to get, fine. I'll take
I
it.
wish she was Luger. Because if she was Luger, she'd be funny.
Now,
At least
speaking,
Luger was funny.
speaking of which, not Luger, speaking of which, Luger, but so Fatu is gonna beat the dog shit out of LA Knight, ain't he?
Let me tell you, look. Are we supposed to be rooting for
I
LA
want this,
Knight? 'Cause
I
LA
want this
LA
psychopath in
Knight is from
Fatu.
Maryland. LA Knights from the DMV. Wait. Frederick's not the DMV, in it? No.
No, it's
Frederick's
outside
not
the
the
DMV.
DMV.
It's outside
Yeah.
the DMV.
But he's from Maryland. He's from
when,
Maryland. I got root for him.
when you step foot outside of Gaithersburg, you're no longer in the DMV at that
So you
point.
mean to tell me riding north through
That last
riding,
metro,
so
that
you mean to
last
tell me
metro
riding-
stop is when you go past that last metro stop in Montgomery County. You are no
Chris,
longer
you mean to tell me
DMV.
riding north from Rockville, I'm already hearing.
You pass that last metro line that you see
You are
on
no
270.
longer in
You are
the
no
DMV.
longer DMV.
You are officially in Maryland. All of a sudden, the Klan welcomes the Klan.
Oh no! See, people think we're joking. No, trust me. When you get on 270 and you pass that last sign that says, "Oh, Metro," blah blah blah, and it just turns it into Clarksburg and all that shit. Oh, you are no longer.
Oh yeah,
in
when
the
you get to
DMV.
Clarksburg, that's when you get this on there. How you doing? Yeah, we was over here. We saw you came from Washington. We saw your move over here, and we just want to tell you that we don't welcome you here. But you are the nicest Klansman in the world. Well, we don't want to start you. We just want to let you know that we don't approve of niggers here. So we just want to let you know. So do you work down there in Washington? No, I said Washington, not Washington. You're a true Maryland person. If they say Washington, you work down there in Washington? Yeah, I do work down there. Oh, I just want to let you know. So, all right, I see you around. Yeah. Know what I did too? They do that all the time. Yeah.
Ironically enough, again,
LA Knight, man. That's why I love LA Knight, man. Yeah. That's
ironically,
a thing.
15, 20 minutes up the road, you hit Gaithersburg. It's just a night and day difference. It just turns into
night and day difference, nigga.
turns
Second
into
you go a
suburban
little-
Maryland. It's
second
like,
you
oh,
go a little bit east. Oh, these are normal houses. There's the meth. I'm in Baltimore country.
yeah,
Yes, I
they
am.
are. Yeah. You get past. Here's our okay. This is inside baseball. You go east and you go through Damascus, normal suburban neighborhood.
Yes, that's all normal.
So then you get outside Damascus. That's where the meth hits, and it's like, oh
Yep.
shit, I'm in Baltimore.
Now, where you at, man? I'm actually in Woodlawn. I don't live in Baltimore. I live in Woodlawn.
Security Mall, not great.
To me, you live in Woodlawn. Woodlawn is the Temple Hills of the Baltimore area.
Sir, that is the Kentland of Baltimore. What are you?
What, Woodlawn? You think Woodlawn's a Kentland? Damn, nigga.
That's Kentland. What are you talking about, sir?
Oh my God, man! Can't you?
You know I'm right.
Shut the fuck up. It's all right. It's Glen Arden. You know how Glen Arden looks like now.
It's land over hills. All right, let's be fair.
Yeah,
Land over hills.
It's land over hills. Take the stadium aspect out of it.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fix up everything. Like they redid that one place and they made like a auto zone.
D, I swear to you, I drove over to land over hills to go to Walmart because I was getting a couple of containers, right?
Yeah.
And it's just funny to me. It's like land over hills is such a weird spectrum. It's like it's hood, but then it's like they have the organic market over there. They got the international store over there. They got a Walmart,
You have to
Royal
realize,
Farms.
much
It's like
Southeast,
it's weird.
Much like Southeast, when you go over there,
Suburban hood, I guess. I don't know.
Much like Southeast, it looks too good over there. You gotta do this. See, they go. They're all all the crackheads scattering.
But I don't see it because I'll go into Royal Farms. It's so nice over there. It's like,
Yeah, you're like, everything all right over here. You walk in that bathroom. Yeah, this is a hood bathroom.
Yeah. It's just
No, this is a hood bathroom, Chris. Yep, this is a hood bathroom.
I've lived so long in this area. We both lived so long in this area. I remember that was Capitol Plaza over there.
Shit, nigga. Anyway,
But anyways,
well, Angie had me rolling. She was like, "Wait a minute, this ain't another nigga I'm missing." Like, no, that's Jacob. Oh God, I thought it was another one. I was like,
Yeah.
"That's Umaga's son. He ain't over here yet."
yeah, he's isn't he wrestling with MLW?
He's in MLW.
I could have sworn he's in MLW.
Either he got signed to Evolve, he's in MLW, but I really think he's in Raw. That's Reality of Wrestling. That's Booker T's job.
So that's
I
Houston.
think he's in Booker T's.
So he's in Houston, basically.
Yeah, if I'm mistaken,
Oh, okay.
he's in Booker T's school right now,
Oh,
or
okay,
he
cool.
was there and he graduated. Don't get me on that, man. Anyway,
Also D. I think also another underrated night one.
Jacob gonna beat the shit out of LA.
It's gonna be a good match. Don't get it twisted. It's
yeah,
gonna be good.
but Jacob
But
gonna beat
here's
the shit
the
out of
storyline that I do like is how Jacob looked at what's his face. God damn, I keep forgetting that kid's name. The other Roman's cousin.
Oh, who, Tonga?
Not Tonga. Fuck.
Solo.
The whole storyline with that is how like Jacob doesn't want Solo to interfere in his match, basically, because Solo interfered in his match, and Jacob was like, "Bro, I got this shit. What the fuck you doing?" Like that kind of. So there's a little bit of a storyline that they're trying to plant with that shit, where Jacob might break away from Solo, maybe.
No, they need to, because I think you know what? That's actually something that I can see happening. I can see LA Knight winning this match, and the very next night on Raw, Jacob beats the shit out of Solo.
Mm-hmm.
I can easily see that. So
yeah. Tiffany and Charlotte is going to be funny because recently they had a promo where basically Tiffany brought up Kaiser being in the DMs of Charlotte.
No, Charlotte said that to
Charlotte said Tiffany. My bad, I got it mixed up. And I'm laughing because I was like, I don't think that was planned per se, but they just rolled.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was planned.
But Kaiser was just like, fuck that dude. Like, what?
What? No, I don't. What?
In the DMs? What's that?
Can't be real. A part of me actually think you wasn't there. You wasn't there. I look, man. Look, I don't know. I heard she was having trouble. I just gonna go. Look, Chris, Players Club. Well, I was over at her house and she said he had cricket in that.
That's a possibility. That's very much a possibility. We have heard. Look. WWE has a history of messy relationships behind the scenes. So
yeah,
wouldn't be surprising.
Here's my thing. I don't know. Charlotte's going through a divorce. This is her third divorce, and that sucks.
Third.
Yeah, it's the third one.
Shit.
I'm just going off of what she said. I mean, what is known. If it's true, I don't know if it's very true, but her last two husbands put hands on her. So I'm thinking, one of two things happen. My wife has a theory is this. Number one, Charlotte don't know a good man if it hit her in the face.
Andrade doesn't give off. He puts hands, but he probably will raise his voice.
Look, he's Mexican, so he might.
But he looks like I will raise my voice.
Oh yeah, he look like he'll raise his voice
for sure.
But a part of me also thinks this: they probably both went to therapy because Charlotte looked like she's always going through therapy. Because look who her dad was.
Thank you.
I hope she's getting help. You know what I mean? Really,
I don't want to turn into my dad. So let me
and then on top of that, again, if what is true, because I don't know about her second marriage, but her first marriage, but her second marriage definitely. But if it's true, both your husbands put hands on you. You know what I mean? Yeah. You went through some shit. So yeah, I hope she is getting help. And part of me thinks this is what happened. She went into therapy with Andrade. At the end of that shit, it's really just sex, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Want to get divorced? Oh my God, yeah, we should get divorced. I don't know. I hope it's that. That's the best outcome. Now, the worst outcome is and D saying it. Who you fuck behind her back, nigga? I think Andrade did it. He like, what you do, man? Was she a white girl?
But yeah.
Was it another white girle, nigga?
But like I said, I got Charlotte. She gonna probably beat Tiffany for sure.
I got
I'd be
Tiffany
shocked.
winning
I'd be shocked if Tiffany wins. To be
I
perfect.
think Tiffany should win this, but
Mhm.
Tiffany has the same problem that Charlotte has. Neither of y'all should have a belt on y'all. But
One milk roast white woman to another milk roast white woman.
we'll see.
Gunther's
Yeah.
gonna beat the dog shit out of Jay, by the way. But
Okay. Jay's gonna win.
how?
Okay.
That's gonna be interesting.
I will tell you this. This is all I can say. If he wins off of a super kick, I'm gonna be incensed. I'm going to be mad. He could win any other way. It better be not on a super kick. But here's another thing, Chris.
Mhm.
A part of me wishes that Vince McMahon was still here. Why? For
Mhm.
one main reason. This match screams, bing, bing, bing. Jay rolls over to Gunther. Gunther, clothesline. Picks him up, powerbomb. Picks him up, powerbomb. Picks
Chop.
him up, powerbomb.
What D? You got to get a chop in.
No, he doesn't get no chops in. No, it's just straight power. Clothesline, no, just lariat, powerbomb, powerbomb, powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Match over. If this was Vince McMahon,
I think we all would have been
this
like,
would have
all right,
did
good,
that.
cool.
What a line that 3 black geeks have been saying in movies when it happens. Just like that, it's over. All right, cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the
I
smart,
thought I had to go to the bathroom.
obviously the smarks would be like, Jay deserved another shot. Da, 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 da.
Here's the
I'm like,
thing.
yeah, I get it.
All
but
the niggas that's root for Jay, I know half of y'all don't mean it.
nah, this is for trolling purposes. Come on now.
So I don't know. I want Gunther to win this, but I don't think he will. I think Jay should win it though.
Roman, CM Punk, and Seth. That is
We
going to
won.
be fun.
We won.
Because here's the cherry on
We
top.
as a people won.
Everything about this matchup, the storylines is crazy because number one, you have CM Punk and Seth planting seeds that Heyman isn't backing Roman anymore. Especially CM, especially Punk, because Punk basically Paul is supporting Punk at this point.
Yeah. Fucking Roman put hands on Paul last night. Seth did exactly what I would have did to Paul, which was get Paul riled up. CM Punk comes out to save you.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for him to get curve stomped. I don't curve stomp you. Now you owe me. Whoa! I'm like,
and also Seth doing the what's old is new again, shield chair to the back on Roman.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my God, Roman feels like the odd one out, but a part of me wants Roman to win this one. If CM Punk wins this, you know me, I don't like CM Punk. I don't like this storyline of CM Punk winning. But if Punk wins, he deserves it. But you know who really needs to win this match?
Seth.
It needs to be Seth. I need to see Seth at the end of this match.
That shit eating grin. Hold up. Do we get the same shit eating grin that he did when he cashed in that Money in the Bank at WrestleMania and he put the belt up and just smiled like
And this one, I need this nigga to go full because we call him, me and the wife calls him Robin from Teen Titans. I won the game. I won it. Nobody's better than me. I'm the best. Yeah, I won it. Yeah. That's what I need at the end of WrestleMania.
I need him at WrestleMania. If I had a prediction on gear, I need him to have something semblance of Shield apparel on him just for
I
shits
wonder
and
what
giggles.
he is going to. You know, it's a good question. I wonder what he is going to wear, man. We'll find out. Anyway, night 2. Oh God.
Liv and Raquel versus Bailey and Lyra.
All right. Now, number one, I like that they're trying to put Lyra. They put Lyra with Bailey for one main reason.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra, as good as she is, and Lyra is actually good.
Oh yeah, she's really good.
She ain't got no fan base. Lyra has no fan base on the main roster like that. So they're still
got to
trying
build
her up. And they put her against Bailey, which is, I think, the perfect thing to do. Do I care about this match? You bet I don't give a fuck about this match. So there you go.
I do find it interesting too, is that like right now with the belts being so new for the women for the US and Intercontinental, they never really put those belts at WrestleMania. Kind of shocked on that one.
They ain't put the women's. They put the men's United States and Intercontinental. They ain't put the women's Continental up.
I think probably because they're both fairly
See,
new, so it's like,
yeah,
what are you going? What storyline are you building up for those two belts?
And also, real is Chelsea's not. I love Chelsea, but she's not doing much with her belt right now as U.S. champion. The SmackDown tag team championship ain't getting done, and the Street Profits are job like bad at that. And I got to be real with you, hey Street Profits. This ain't 2020. Shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody calling for y'all right now.
Well, you don't like heel Street Profits?
I love shut the fuck up. I love them brothers. I'm gonna keep it real. Everybody, y'all.
New Day, you're not.
I'm Lee. New Day, you're not. And number two,
not a bad thing, but you know,
I'm not. I should not say this because I still think he's going to be a star. But WWE. Y'all got 3 years y'all got 3 more years with this brother. If y'all don't do nothing with him, let him go. And that's Montez. Y'all got 3 more years. If y'all don't do nothing with him, let him go to AEW and find himself. Let him go to Ring of Honor. Let him go and let him find himself, man. Because I don't think he's gonna find it in WWE.
For Montez,
I really think he wasting his time saying 3 years. To be honest with you, I think the brother
Montez is gonna probably have to be. He's going to be mid-carding it up for a while before he gets to the main event status, which is not a bad thing.
But I think he should go. But here's the thing. Outside of MLW and probably dipping off the AEW, there's really nowhere else to go.
New Japan.
And the only way you go to New Japan, even if you're not New Japan USA, you got to be a certain type of wrestler that can get into that joint, man. Not everybody just book off your name. You get in.
I mean, that's how Ziggler got into in New Japan because he's a name and he did all that work in WWE.
Matt Riddle was a name. That's how he got over there. Now, who is it? Rozier, homie used to be on the primetime players. Darren Young.
Yeah, Darren Young.
Darren Young. How he got on there? Darren Young just trained his ass off, and when he got the tryout, they said he was good enough.
Yeah,
it took him a while to get that job.
So yeah, this should be good. AJ beating the dog shit out of Logan, but it's gonna be entertaining.
I think that's gonna be actually an entertaining match. Everybody's overhyping Logan's finisher. Great finisher, by the way. But oh man, it's the greatest thing in the world. We all did that same thing in 2K. We all made up that same move in 2K. It's just cool that here's the thing.
The creative player.
Logan can't do that. Logan can't do that to everybody.
Nah.
That's the biggest problem about that move. He can't do that to everybody. You can do it to an AJ. AJ gonna make that shit look good, and AJ gonna make it look like you killed him.
AJ is a professional.
AJ is a professional. You can't do that to everybody, man. I don't see him doing that. Looking at the name below him, you can't do that to Braun Breaker. You do that shit to Braun Breaker, that's insane. But I don't see that.
Let's talk about it. Did you see that fucking spear that he put?
You have to see the cut of it because if you see, all you see is running, and it cuts. The camera cuts, and all you see is just a flopping body going toward who was that? I think it was Dominic. Yeah, it was
no, it wasn't Dominic. It was
Dominic. It was what's the name? It was Penta, wasn't it?
No, my man that East
No,
Africa.
Carlito.
Dude, because you just see it was such the quickest spear because you just see a upper body
torso
spear Carlito, and you see him just combat roll to his feet, and I'm like, this guy is a freak of fucking nature to just.
I'm with Michael Cole. This match, this 4-way match, might be actually the match of the weekend.
Who do you got winning though? Because part of me says Penta's gonna probably win, but Finn might win though.
I got a weird feeling they might give it to Finn.
Yeah,
like Finn probably has the most juice storyline wise to get it. If they wanted to give it to somebody so they can make it worthwhile, you either keep it on Braun or it goes to Penta. I don't think Dominic should win it. Dominic's
a wild card.
Weird. It will be weird for him to win it, only in the sense of where do you go for business? Is this nigga gonna be
it
cowardly
ain't-
with it?
'cause
What's
it
he
ain't-
gonna do with it?
Because it ain't like when he won the North American belt for that short time, where it's like you're doing it to get a pop to get some heat on him and stuff. Him
Yeah.
winning the Intercontinental belt, it's like, what heat are you putting on him? Like, what, like you said, what story are you telling with that? So it's
Yeah,
like
I
it
don't
makes
know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because keeping it on Braun wouldn't be a bad thing because Braun, again, freak of fucking nature, and it just works for him to be
Yeah,
that
it would,
dude.
it
You know,
would- yeah, you keep it on him. A part of me, like I said, I like it. I like it.
Underrated match, Sin City Street Fight. That could be good. I think it could be good.
I do not want. I want Drew to win this because I really don't want Damien to come in this joint, snatch that cross back. My grandmama gave me this chain.
Side note, if it's the Sin City Street Fight, I want them to be on the actual streets.
It better be.
I
It
just
better be.
even if it's just they're on the street for 2-3 minutes, something. Because it's like
I
come on.
need this to be. Give me. Actually, do me the favor. Have this start at match 1.
Yeah.
I need these niggas to do a Gold Dust Roddy Piper. I need y'all to start at match 1 and y'all disappear out of the stadium. All right, next matchup. The following match is for the WWE. It's like, so are they done?
Okay,
In
no,
every between matches, they're fighting all through Las Vegas, beating the
Here's
shit
where
out
they
of
should
each
start it at. Started after AJ and Logan, right?
Yeah.
They start their matchup and it cuts, right? And we go straight to Braun, Penta, Finn, and Dominic, right? So that match is going, and it's like, hey, so while these guys are on the floor, we're gonna cut to Damian and Drew, and
Like I said, they're like they're at the Venetian in the water, beating the crap out of each other.
then cut back to Braun in that match, cut back to Damian and Drew, and then cut to Io, Bianca, and Rhea.
They're in front of Caesars, beating the shit out of me. I needed to be like that. Give it to me in sections.
And it finally ends before Cody and John. That's how you really bookend it. Like, all right, cool. That was yes.
You have to book
Or
it.
do a picture in picture where it's like in the corner.
No, this is what you do. As soon as the girls are done with their triple threat, let's just say Io wins, right? Like Io wins. All of a sudden she gets bumped out the way. Wait a minute. You just see Drew come out there, all that blood on his face. He's like, they still fighting.
Spitting chips out of his mouth.
Boy. Thank you, Chips. The Chips. 1, 2, 3. The whole crowd will pop. And then that will be a good 10 to 20 minutes, because let's just be real, that's how long it's going to be. 10 to 20 minutes for John and Cody to come out. That would be the perfect time to do it. I don't know who's going to win that match, by the way. I want Drew to get that one. Be Bianca, Rhea, and Io. Let me tell you something. I love how this came together.
Yes.
They're sitting in the ring. I'm Adam Pearce. Good. We're all here. Everybody put your name on this page, and we can be done with this. I'm with Bianca. You happy? Look at Rhea. You happy now? You happy now? You did all of that kicking and screaming. You happy now? Rhea. First off, I'm like, shut up. Shut the hell up. I'm like, I'm just like Bianca. Look, Chris, I'm on Rhea's side, and I'm with Bianca. Shut your ass up. I'm getting real. Like, why are you even here? Why are you even here? Io's trying to say something. We ain't talking to you. Why are you even here? I like how Io was odd man out. She made her statement, double drop kick the living shit out of both of these girls. Like, Io has every right to be in this match because I'm the champion. Look, I love it because here comes Rhea. Sure. Just give it back. Give it back. Who are we kidding? I'm the hottest. Everybody likes me. Everybody likes mommy. Come on, what? I'm the champion. Bianca, bitch. See, I fought to get here. Unlike what you did the last how long and didn't fight nobody? That's my belt. Io saying something in Godzilla speak. Something in Godzilla language. That's terrible. You know what I mean?
Stairs.
But like I said, I don't know who's going to win that match. I'm rooting for Bianca, but I think Io's going to retain it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna.
I think the smart move is Io retaining it, but I'm rooting for Bianca.
Here's how good
Rio winning it will be hilarious to me.
Here's something I think you pointed out on this. Here's how strong WWE is. Like it's like you said, Cornette said, it's just like they're just cooking on all cylinders. Like it's just
they fought loose.
It's a lot of these matches. Whoever loses, they're not hurt. They're not hurt in terms of like what happens. So, like, good example: if Damian loses to Drew, is Damian really hurt? Not really.
If Drew loses, Drew is a brick house. He loses, he's fine.
Yeah, like I would probably say out of all, if I'm really looking at it objectively and stuff in terms of like the matches, I would probably say the only match that I could probably maybe say somebody might Tiffany and Charlotte. Like if Tiffany loses, maybe that probably hurts her or brings her stock down. I guess that's probably the only one I can really think of off rip. That will hurt because LA Knight will be fine unless a lot of people are going to be looking at LA Knight like, oh, how come LA Knight didn't fucking win and that kind of shit. But that's about it, you know. Because even Cody and John, Cody's going to probably win that unless they really want to put the belt on John as a way of like him getting a grand. Well, no, he still needs to win the IC belt to get a fucking grand change. John, because he's never won the IC belt.
Can't be. He hasn't. I don't think he has.
Never has.
No, here's the thing. John doing this now. I had to really.
John Cena.
I really had to think about this. Chris. John, what's the pros and cons of John winning, losing, whatever? Cody, I don't think it's time for Cody to flip heel yet.
Nah.
I think this is where you plant the seeds of it. If you really want to go for it, making Cody a heel.
It's like, why don't people like me?
Yeah, you start right now. Because as much as people think, because a lot of people think that Cody is getting booed like that. No, he's not. He's not getting the heat that you want him to for him to flip heel and it would be a natural flip. So no. John winning this, I don't think nobody would be against, but I think it takes a lot out of Cody.
It would.
It would take a lot out of Cody, but I don't know. Like, I don't think it's a bad idea for Cody to lose it.
Nah, it's not really.
I think it goes nowhere if John's the champion, though.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do some weird thing where, no, that's stupid.
Well, you already know, like, CM Punk is going to probably try to get at John in terms of, like, trying to.
And see, that's why I'm thinking maybe this is the way to get CM Punk the belt by beating John Cena, because they're going to have to fight each other eventually. Also, one thing we're not factoring in is that Cody is going to have, if Cody loses John or whoever loses John, they're going to get their lick right back after this. So we're not factoring in that. And that's where it gets weird. Do you see John winning this just to lose it again? Or do you see Cody holding on to it?
And whoever comes out of that WrestleMania match, like with that three-way, because the three-way, people aren't realizing the three-way between Roman, Seth, and CM Punk is kind of sort of like who's going to face off against Cody, because all three of them got a sort of point of contention against Cody Rhodes in some way, shape, or form. So
yeah, they do, because Roman, by all regards, I'm getting that belt. I need my look back, actually, nigga. Let me try.
I helped you out, so what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah, Seth is like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This should have a fight. I'm gonna win it. I helped you. You owe me this. So let's do this shit. CM Punk has probably the less amount of beef towards Cody. And I think because the way CM Punk set up his character, that's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
As far as being the champion, because at that point you're going to have the audience flip on Cody. I can see only the Punk fans doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to be enough for it to be like, yeah, let's go with that. So it's like, I'm not really sure what they can do with this one, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, it's farting through silk where you're just like, this is the most first world problems of first world problems.
Yeah,
So,
and finally WWE got first world problems after creating first world problems.
yeah, so it's kind of like you're like I said, this WrestleMania is going to be interesting to watch both nights. Yeah, this is oof, man, this is and it's in Vegas, and that's not even counting NXT having their shit.
Yeah,
Because I think NXT, hold up, because I've been closely watching a little bit. So NXT, where is it at? Damn it, where is their pay per view?
Stand and Deliver, not Stand and Deliver. It's going to be called God, is it Stand and Deliver?
Yeah, Stand and Deliver.
Yeah,
NXT Stand and Deliver. That's gonna So hold up, let me get that up.
I meant to look at the thing for that. I forgot all about.
So
that.
you got Zarya and Kalani Jordan versus Soul and Izzy Dame for the North American Championship. So it's pretty much like a 5-way ladder match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. You have a fatal 4-way for the Women's Championship with Stephanie Vaquer, Juliana, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. That should be good, actually. NXT Tag Team Championship, Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Gauntlet match. So that's going to be a gauntlet match.
Yeah.
NXT North American Championship, Ricky Saints versus the Fatal 4-Way winner on that one. And then for the NXT Championship, it's a triple threat between Oba, Trick, and Javon. Which Oba's going to probably win that one because
you should give it Oba.
I'm still kind of mixed on Trick, to be honest. And Javon is.
Okay. I stand by what I said with Trick. I don't see the star that everybody else sees with him. That's just me. I really don't see what everybody says. I'm seeing a black Adam Cole where, yeah, he's cool.
Adam Cole, baby.
Outside of that,
I did like how
whoop that Trick. That's about it.
I like how when Trick and Javon were in the ring, Javon was like, "Oh, I know who you are. You're Mellow." And I was like, "Points are made because you're basically kind of trying to be like Mellow." And yeah, so
I think this is interesting that you got 3 black men going for the championship in NXT. So that's kind of cool.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Definitely a good thing.
Martin Luther King Day didn't march exactly for this, but it was somewhere in the ballpark.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
but anyway, so I think that's it for this week. I think it really is it for this week. Everybody, as we all know,
the guns, the grenade, the M4s. This man is. I feel everybody is, and I gotta agree with JJ a while back when he did that video about it. I think everybody is making too big of a deal of what Ja's doing in a way that's like, why are we making a big deal out of this? Like,
because I feel like sports ain't got nothing better to talk about right now. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And I think even the NBA is kind of over exaggerating what to do with Ja because I'm like, why are y'all targeting him for this shit? Like, what's the point?
And that's the thing. He went from being y'all number 1 star that y'all wanted the kids to be with. Now y'all making him pretty much a pariah in the league. And it's the weirdest thing in the world. This is the reason why I say the NBA media sucks. Because I think every journalist that actually really has something to say about Ja has said it right now. And everything else has just been extra unnecessary bullish. And it's like, I don't know, man. I just hate it, man.
Yeah. But that image is funny though with the M4 and the grenades.
Look, I saw it. I was like, I'm putting this up by the end of the show.
Also, folks, AI is bad. Stop doing that shit.
Yeah. Come on, man.
It's funny, but environment and all that stuff.
It's funny, but let's just be real. Pay your artists anyway.
Yeah, WrestleMania is gonna be fun this weekend. NBA playoffs, playing games, which starts tonight. By the way, ooh boy, that is going to be fun to watch.
So
especially after going because I think once these playing games are done, that's when the playoffs start this weekend, don't it? Basically.
Yep. Yeah, one more thing to get lead out on. I saw the news. I saw a couple of shirts going out there for your team, Chris. Keep an eye out. It's called the B. Is either called the Be More Bullies or the Baltimore Bullies, whatever. It's the Baltimore Oriole with glasses and a jacket. With a
What?
chain in his hand. It's called the Baltimore Bullies, the Be More Bullies, or something like that. Look for that shit. You would definitely like it. And I guess look for Baltimore on the Baltimore Orioles also. But recently here in the nation's capital for our first game, we got to play the Dodgers, right?
Mhm.
Nationals versus the Dodgers. And it was so funny. MLB, the Twitter had me dying. Because Shohei Ohtani hits a home run. Shohei Ohtani, a home run. It's amazing. Yeah. Woo-hoo, right? At the end of that game, it said in lowercase, the Nationals win the game off a home run or something like that, right?
Yeah.
The Nationals Twitter answered back, what happened to the caps lock? I'm the same way. I'm sorry. The sorriest team in the league just beat the Dodgers. I'm sorry. Where's the caps lock, nigga? Whatever. So baseball season is underway. So we're all having fun with that. But anyway, that's it. Yeah, that's the show.
That's the show. We'll be back, guys. Peace.
Peace.